Every culture in the world and beyond has its good and bad parts. So the best idea is to keep all the good and leave all the bad behind. The Utopia project is trying to leave behind the failed attempts of centralized power control and look at a decentralized model as an alternative model for leadership, grassroots leadership, and overall society, how to run society. This is a short presentation that will go into a little more detail about the Utopia project, and for short, up. And remember, Utopia starts with you. Here's what you'll find on this presentation. Suppose just pause it if you want to have a quick read, but otherwise we'll just move right along. So a little more about UP and what it's all about. It's all about creating autonomous, decentralized, and free societies. We naturally believe that in order for a robust society against natural disasters, social disasters, or anything else, that a decentralized model of grassroots leadership is the best model to follow, and also a reasonable truth to base that on, and that is there's no excuse for abuse as a pattern of behaviour, and of course forgiveness for rare mistakes, like any good healthy society would have. And we also believe people should, um, you know, have a bit of a spiritual background to, at the very least, be able to let go and let love for the things that are out of their control. So adding to what I said just before, it's all about creating a more harmonious societies throughout the world and beyond, uh, and doing this in the form of empowering the local communities to reclaim ownership and decision making of their own local areas as much as possible, and in ever more loving ways too. And added to this is a catalyst that's called the Daft Punks, and they are our boots on the ground who know the know the principles of art and know the Daft Punk principles, what that's all about, and are able to be catalysts in society, social catalysts to help accelerate this process that will heal the world and make it a better place. So if you're still here, you'll probably be wondering, well, that all sounds good. What are the advantages? Here's a few. UP creates intergenerational sustainability, encourages locals to decide what's best for themselves, provides a actual framework describing how to build a new and exciting society from that reasonable truth I talked about earlier. It addresses all of the major societal issues in a new and creative way. And on top of all of that, it'll stop tyranny in its tracks. Tyranny likes centralization, UP encourages decentralization, and that's something that is really important too, and perhaps the missing piece to the puzzle for how to make a free and loving society sustainable, long term and good for all who want it at least. Now that's a pretty big, cool dice, but it needs to be because the roll the dice framework is pretty big and cool too. And it needs a big icon like that to really give you a sense of what it's all about. It's an acronym, and on the next page, you'll find out more about it if you hang in there. So this is the framework for societies and communities to follow. And on the website, on the UP webpage, there goes into a lot more detail about each and every one of these. So, things like recycling, organic food production, love at the community core, lasting generational sustainability, transport's important, water collection's important, energy production's important, how to go about decision making, vital, ideas, how to generate ideas from a grassroots level, how to support your local community, especially the vulnerable, but the whole community, and a different perspective on entertainment rather than have a centralized entertainment model. Once again, this is decentralized to for locals to encourage it to think about, well, how about we build up and support our own local celebrities and personalities, and even workers, and yeah, just flip the script on that, and finally leave room for a pure love God for a few different reasons. And I think I've said enough about that one. But yeah, that's an important one to actually keep in, believe it or not. So, what is a Daft Punk? Well, we're the boots on the ground for the Utopia project, and Daft Punk is another acronym. We are decentralized, autonomous, free thinking, peaceful, utopian, noble, kaleidoscope sovereigns. Well, that could mean a lot of things, but it does help spell it out a little more accurately. And why do you need us? Probably why you need us will help explain a little more what Daft Punks are too. We're added support for the communities around the world and beyond. We're a targeted change creating catalyst. They're, targeted for specific change. It's only always going to be healthy change for those who want it. And we have the ability to adapt swiftly to many issues. And we often stay hidden and we are quite often ahead of the curve, but not always. Clever people, clever people find out who we are, and that's fine too. But we don't go out of our way to pop our head up because it's a bit actually counterproductive. But that said, it's not like we're one of those secret cults doing weird stuff in the background. We're only trying to implement what you see here online and what we present here in this presentation and online about the UP principles, just to simply heal the world and make it a better place, but applying an alternative model to that, the decentralized model. So yeah, we're just trying to work strategically to improve society based on the UP principles and accelerate that improvement using our frameworks worldwide and beyond. Yes, the big wide universe out there. Happy days. So if you got this far and you like the sound of it, and you're thinking, yeah, that sounds good, but what could I do now? What could I do about it? Well, we've got an idea. How about you be a hero on your own street with the street sovereignty idea that's on this website here? It's basically a place to start by growing your own food on your own street. Imagine being able to walk around the street and grab some veggies for dinner that night. How good would that be? But not only that, but actually know your neighbours and know that you've worked together and you've built good working relationships and friendships even with your neighbours on shared projects in your own area and you have ownership of it. It's your own street. And hey, who's got more right to have a say in your street than you and your street mate? Seriously. A little more on what to do now. So, but it's up to your own street to decide. It's grassroots. It's the other way around. That's what we're getting at. And whatever your street decides, you and your street decide, and you're getting good momentum and success there, then there's plenty of other ideas on the roll the dice framework where to go next. Maybe you want to focus on solar power on an empty section, and you could all pitch in some money and get that happening and have more control of your energy. Uh, water. You might want to help each other out to have more water collection happening on your street. It all starts on your own street and it grows from there. And the more power you have in your own pocket, the better off all of our society will be. And yeah, so anyway, I'll plant that seed there and hopefully you'll water it and it'll grow and the universe will water it and it'll grow too. And if you want to know more, and there is a lot more, because we only just briefly touched on the main parts of UP, the roll the dice framework, what the Daft Punks do, and what you could do as an idea. But there's plenty more here on the website, up.energy. And yeah, so hope you like it. Anyway, it's definitely given you something to think about, I reckon. And next page, I think. So I've tried to keep this short and sweet and to the point, and thanks for listening. And remembering, Utopia starts with you and me and all of us, really, eh? So best of luck. and thanks for hanging in there and giving it a red hot go.